I work in architecture. I'm an architectural technologist, so we live in Spain but work in Gibraltar. So yeah, I work sometimes in an office designing buildings. I was doing a lot of sport at the time, triathlons, cycling, a lot of running, and I found I had an extended fat belly, which is unusual when you're doing that amount of sport. So we got checked out at doctors in Gibraltar, had an ultrasound, and then got referred to Dr. Aycart at the clinic, I think that was in Marbella at the time. So Dr. Aycart did more tests, more CAT scans I think it was, and then found out that I had cancer of the stomach lining. I think it's called peritoneal pseudomixoma.
We decided to try for a baby back in 2012, and unfortunately we had a miscarriage. And following that miscarriage, the doctors did some blood tests and found an anomaly in my blood tests for the liver reading. So after a few scans and investigations in Gibraltar, and that's when we first met Dr. Aycart, and he operated on me in Spain and has done follow-ups with me every year. So look, I was very lucky, it was a benign tumour, so didn't have to go through all the other treatment that might have been possible, but it was quite a big operation at the time, and now I've been fine since the operation, so I don't tend to think about it too much anymore. I tend to concentrate on Darren.
And we had so much confidence in Dr. Aycart from Lucy's treatment. She was looked after really well at the Quironsalud hospital in Marbella. Dr. Aycart is just an amazing doctor. He's so friendly and very personable, and quite close to us, and he was just such a nice doctor that got through Lucy's treatment. And then as soon as we knew it was Dr. Aycart for my treatment, we just had 100% confidence.
I met Lucy and Darren 7 years ago. They both came to our hospital because Lucy was found to have a large liver tumor. It was in the center of the liver. That tumor required a very difficult operation. We arranged for that, and 5 days after the operation, she went home without problems. Every 6 months, Lucy comes to our hospital to have the follow-up, and so far, so good. But 3 years ago, Darren, her husband, came to our hospital suffering a very rare type of tumor. It was a peritoneal pseudomixoma tumor. It was malignant. We also have to arrange for a complex operation for Darren, but we have to give chemotherapy before operating him. Darren has his operation. 15 days after the operation, he went home, and so far in the follow-up, he is without disease.
So initially it was obviously a shock that Darren had got the cancer, and I think particularly because he's quite a fit person and always did do a lot of sport, it was a shock to us that he had the cancer, and that it had been there for some time, slowly growing. And I remember thinking that perhaps it wasn't meant to be that we were going to have a baby, because obviously I'd been ill, and then this happened to Darren just as we were sort of trying to go down the route of IVF to have the baby.
Darren came to our hospital 6 months following his operation. In fact, he was excellent. He was already cycling, which is his sport. Now, the good news was that Lucy was pregnant.
It's quite an easy answer. Our new son, Noah, who's now 2 years old. So yeah, it's definitely our son.
Yeah, no, I'm very positive as well, but I worry about him, and I worry that the cancer's going to come back, probably more than Darren does. So I think it was quite an emotional roller coaster when he went through the treatment. But I think the fact that we then had Noah at the end of all of that was just like a blessing, and we just now try and live every day for Noah, really, and the best for Noah. Life hasn't changed, as in we still carry on working and we do all our normal things, but every now and again we do sort of sit down and think, yeah, we're very lucky to be where we are. I consider myself very lucky to have Darren, and then to have Noah as well is just like super lucky.
Dr. Aycart, and then when my son was born, we just knew we were going to call, at least give him his middle name, Enrique. So it was Noah Enrique Vickers. So it was just because he'll always be in our lives. Obviously Dr. Aycart and Noah, so it was always that nice reminder that we had, and hopefully it's a nice reflection for Dr. Aycart.
Yeah, I do worry that it's going to come back, and hopefully it won't. But my train of thought really now is I do sit back sometimes and think as I said before, I'm very lucky to have Darren and to have Noah as well on top of that. I just feel like it was the icing on the cake, really. We often call him the miracle baby, and a lot of people that know us call him the miracle baby because we thought he was never going to happen. But we do try and live our lives. Obviously we don't try and make him feel like that. We try and make him feel as a normal baby, obviously, because we don't want him to be spoilt or anything.